let's get right into it. Number 6. WebMD death spiral. You notice how a simple headache suddenly becomes a brain tumor after 5 minutes on WebMD. That's nosophobia in action, the fear of developing a specific disease. It's not just being worried about getting sick. This is your brain convinced that death is lurking in every symptom. Medical students know this feeling well. They spend years learning about every possible way the human body can fail. They call it medical student's disease. One day you're studying liver failure. The next day you're sure that slight pain in your side means your liver is shutting down. The internet made this ancient fear 1,000 times worse. Now we have cyberchondria, where one innocent Google search turns into a death spiral of symptom checking. You search tired all the time, and 30 minutes later you're planning your funeral. And the weird part is, with nosophobia, you might not even have symptoms. You're just terrified of getting a specific disease in the future. Some people with this fear become medical test addicts. They're at the doctor every week, demanding scans and blood work. Some react in a contrary way. They avoid doctors completely because even thinking about health triggers panic. Our ancestors had good reason to fear mysterious illnesses. One sick person could wipe out an entire tribe. That fear kept them alive by making them avoid sick people. But now that same survival instinct goes haywire in our modern world. Your brain treats every minor symptom like a saber-toothed tiger. The fear center in your brain doesn't understand statistics or modern medicine. It just knows that diseases exist and they can kill you. So it sounds the alarm at the slightest hint of danger, even when that danger is just a bruise you don't remember getting. Number 5. Built-in bug fear. You see a tiny spider and jump like it's a velociraptor. Or the sound of a mosquito makes your skin crawl more than any horror movie. This intense fear of insects is called entomophobia. For many, it's a full-blown panic button. Creatures way smaller than you, often harmless, can send people into a complete meltdown. The reason is your brain might be running an ancient defense program. For our ancestors, some insects were genuinely dangerous. Think malaria from mosquitoes, diseases from flies, or painful stings. A healthy dose of "get away from me" could have been a lifesaver. So that gut reaction to swat or run might be an echo of ancestors dodging tiny packages of disease. This isn't just about being startled. Entomophobia can seriously mess with daily life. People might refuse to go to parks or avoid opening windows in summer. The anxiety often doesn't match the actual danger posed by the insect in modern life. This intense fear sometimes comes from a bad personal experience. Getting a nasty bee sting as a kid can plant a seed of fear. Your brain locks in that association. Bug equals danger. It can also be a learned behavior. If you saw your parents freak out over every housefly or spider, you might have picked up that same fearful reaction. It's like your brain downloaded their bug panic app. The media doesn't always help. Movies often portray insects as monstrous, even when the real-life versions are harmless. Seeing a giant CGI spider attack can make that tiny one in your bathroom seem way more threatening. Therapies like exposure therapy can help recalibrate that fear response. So if a housefly makes you want to burn the house down, remember your brain might just be stuck on an old survival setting. Number 4. Sudden sound shock. You jump out of your skin when a car backfires. That's your ancient survival programming kicking in. Loud, sudden noise equals potential danger. It's a basic human instinct designed to keep you alive. But imagine if that alarm bell didn't just ring for a car backfire. The clatter of dishes, a dog barking, even a phone ringing could send you into full-blown panic. This is what life can be like for someone with phonophobia. It's a persistent, abnormal fear of sounds, especially sudden loud ones. For someone with phonophobia, their brain interprets these sounds not as annoying, but as actively harmful. Your ancient brain is screaming, "Tiger," when your neighbor drops a pan. We're talking about sounds that most people would barely register. People with phonophobia can experience intense anxiety, a racing heartbeat, or an overwhelming need to escape. What flips this switch from a normal startle to a debilitating phobia is often a learned response. If someone experienced a traumatic event with a sudden loud noise, their brain might start flagging all sudden loud noises as life-threatening. Say, a car accident that began with the screech of tires. Their internal alarm system becomes hypersensitive, stuck in overdrive. And the truly weird part is trying to avoid the sounds can actually make it worse. In the past, some people with phonophobia were advised to avoid all noise, sometimes even using earplugs constantly. But this strategy often backfired. Reducing all sound input actually made their hearing pathways more sensitive. So when they did hear a sound, it felt even louder and more threatening. It's like turning up the volume on your brain's fear microphone. That person who flinches dramatically at a balloon pop might not be them being overly dramatic. It could be their ancient survival instincts gone haywire, turning everyday sounds into a constant stream of false alarms. Number 3. Walls closing in. You've felt that sudden heart-pounding panic when an elevator door closes, or the thought of being in a packed concert makes your palms sweat. That's not just you being dramatic. That's claustrophobia, a very old, very real fear of being trapped. It's more than just disliking small rooms. Claustrophobia is an intense dread of confined spaces or situations where you feel like there's absolutely no way out. Think about our ancestors. For them, being trapped in a cave-in, cornered by a predator, or stuck in a narrow passage meant almost certain death. Your brain, in its wisdom to keep you alive, still has that ancient alarm system hardwired in. When it senses inescapable enclosure, it hits the panic button, big time. Your body floods with adrenaline. Your heart races. You can't catch your breath. You start sweating. And your mind screams, "Get out! Get out now!" It's a primal survival instinct kicking into overdrive in a world of MRI machines and subway cars. This fear can pop up at any age, often starting in childhood or adolescence, sometimes after a scary experience like being stuck in a small space, but not always. The triggers are varied. It's not just elevators. It can be anything from a small restroom, a crowded car, basements, or even escape rooms. For some, even wearing tight clothing can set it off. The key isn't always the size of the space, but the terrifying feeling of being unable to escape. People will go to incredible lengths to avoid these feelings. They might take stairs instead of elevators, even if it's 20 floors. This ancient fear can literally dictate daily choices. Your brain is just trying to protect you from an ancient danger. But tell that to your amygdala when the walls feel like they're closing in. Number 2. Ancient blood alarm. You've felt woozy at the sight of blood, or you know someone who passes out cold during a blood test. That's not just squeamishness. It's a primitive fear called hemophobia, hardwired into some of us. And the weird part that separates blood phobia from most other fears is that most phobias make your heart race and blood pressure shoot up, the classic fight-or-flight response. But with hemophobia, something bizarre happens. After an initial jolt of anxiety, your heart rate and blood pressure suddenly plummet. It's like your body hits an emergency brake, and down you go. This is called a vasovagal response. Our bodies evolved such a dramatic response because one theory is that it's an ancient survival mechanism. Imagine our ancestors getting seriously injured. Fainting and playing dead might have made them less of a target. A sudden drop in blood pressure could also, theoretically, reduce blood loss from a wound. So your brain isn't trying to embarrass you. It's running an ancient program. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. Hemophobia can make people avoid doctors or any medical treatment involving blood or needles. They might avoid situations where they could see others injured. Scientists believe there might be a strong genetic link to this phobia. If someone in your family faints at the sight of blood, you might be more likely to do it too. It's a primal fear, a throwback to a time when seeing blood usually meant something life-threatening. So if you get that lightheaded feeling, it's your inner caveman trying to save your life by making you fall on your face. Number 1. Contamination dread. You notice how you can't touch a public doorknob without immediately needing hand sanitizer, or your skin crawls when someone coughs near you. That's your brain reacting to invisible threats. This fear of germs and contamination has a name, mysophobia. It's more intense than just liking things clean. Our brains developed a powerful alarm system. Back in the day, contaminated water or rotting food meant serious trouble. Better to avoid everything suspicious than risk getting sick. Fast forward to today, and that same alarm system is still running, except now it's going off about shopping cart handles and elevator buttons. For someone with mysophobia, their heart pounds when they touch a public handrail. They might break into a sweat at the thought of using a public restroom. It's like their brain is stuck in survival mode. This fear can completely hijack your life. People start avoiding public places. They skip social gatherings. They spend hours every day thinking about contamination. Some wash their hands until they're raw and bleeding. It's exhausting. Sometimes this fear gets tangled up with obsessive-compulsive behaviors. The fear of contamination drives people to perform rituals, like washing hands 3 times. These rituals temporarily calm the anxiety, but the relief never lasts. Your brain, designed to protect you, is now causing distress over modern-day door handles. The invisible enemy seems everywhere, and your programming won't let you forget it. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.